But they say all over the news there's a law and you'll be arrested. And they hoax people into thousands of kids lining up in that famous case last year in Maryland with police dogs barking, crying, saying, I don't want the shots, but it's the law. Then I have the state attorney on, and he says, yeah, I don't vaccinate my kids, and you're right, there's no law, but whatever. And they started laughing on air like it was funny that they'd hoaxed all these people. And it's the same thing with homeschooling. There's several million homeschoolers. California, Oregon, Illinois have created court cases that have gone federal and state. They've all been defeated, stating that the state owns your children and that your child has to be in public school or private school that's accredited by the state, and that if you're going to homeschool, you've got to have a certified teaching credential and go to in-teacher training and follow their curriculum. That's been defeated in 3 states that I know of. We've had lawyers on. We've covered the cases. The latest one was, 6 months ago in California. Facts don't matter, though. Doesn't matter if there's 2 to 3 million full-time homeschoolers. There's millions more that are in these semi-homeschools where they go to a group school for homeschoolers 2 or 3 days a week. The rest of the time they're at home. The system is afraid of this. And they hate the fact that the homeschoolers have the highest test scores and the highest geography B scores and the spelling bees, all of it. But the larger issue here is the secret police mentality in the United States. I told the story 50 times of a carpet cleaner in my house about 8-9 years ago before I even had children. So my radio studio was in a back bedroom, and I had a shotgun up on a rack on the wall. This is Texas. This guy, turned out, was from back east. He was down here. He was young. And he walked in the room and got scared and said, I can't clean that room. It's got a shotgun in it. That's illegal. And I explained to him, I said, sir, you watch TV a lot, don't you? You see shows based in New York, dramas and things, or you see cop shows based in New York or Chicago where guns are banned. And so you have the perception that guns are illegal everywhere. But this isn't Chicago or New York, where they purposely base all these plots, or the real cop shows go to film so they can go, oh, look, found a gun in his house, he's going to jail. I explained to him this, and then he ran off and tried to call the police on me. I had a bad feeling. I called the carpet cleaning place, talked to the manager. He said, yes, the person did want to call the police on you. We explained it's not illegal. So that happened. Same deal today. 8 years later. Now in America, you got repair people in your house, and one of them says, hey, aren't you kids supposed to be in school? And then my wife says, in a friendly way, well, they're homeschooled. We're trying out homeschooling. Oh, that's illegal. Now, why does he think that? Because they have all these dramas and sitcoms that we've covered in the past where homeschooler parents are abusive and homeschooler parents are bad and homeschooling's illegal and all of these. And I've seen in the mall, and I don't even go to the mall very often, and I've seen repeatedly T-shirts for kids saying homeschool with a picture of a trailer, a Windstream trailer, and the schooled is spelled wrong. Wow, these are the idiots. And my wife said, well, no, it's not. There's millions of people. And he said, oh, no, you go to jail for that. So, now we have to wonder if, because the other issue is CPS and people do harass homeschoolers. They do go after them. They do harass them. And in literally half the cases I see, in literally half the cases I've read about in the press and people I've interviewed with the CPS attacking homeschoolers, the children go out at recess for an hour after lunch in their own backyard, and they'll be on the seesaw or they'll be playing in the jungle gym or whatever in their backyard, and a neighbor flips out and thinks, why aren't those kids in school? And they call the CPS. And the CPS comes to the door, tricks their way in, finds a dirty plate in the kitchen, and takes the children with no due process, no jury, no nothing. The eugenics family court set up for eugenics in the turn of the last century, around 1909 when they became popularized. They were nationwide by the 1930s, again, late 1930s when it hit its peak. And it's a eugenics court. And that's why there's no due process. These are the same courts that would say, you're going to be sterilized, or we're aborting your baby, or they would, through bureaucracy, just put a baby who was born deformed or what they said was underweight, just in a basket in the back of the nursery or in a freezing room at the government facilities to die. These are the courts that did that. They're not real courts. And so that's what I'm saying. It's all around us. This is secret police America with all these dumbed down, mindless sheeples, what they are, the term is accurate, having no idea how the world or anything else works, and there's nothing but billboards about report illegal guns. Shows a picture of a revolver. They're all over Texas, all over the country. I see them everywhere I go, around the nation, California, New York, you name it. It says report illegal guns. Well, in Texas, a revolver isn't illegal. I mean, I talk to most people who are born and bred in Texas, and they believe you've got to be registered to own a gun now in Texas. You don't. And so when the carpet cleaner's in your house, or somebody fixing your air conditioning, or somebody fixing your garbage disposal, or somebody fixing your garage door opener, and they see a gun, folks, a lot of times they call the police on you. And that's why I've seen hundreds of articles over the years of where the police raid a man, local businessman. He had 25 guns in arsenal. A neighbor saw him in his garage cleaning the gun, and police went ahead and SWAT teamed him and arrested him and called it an arsenal. There's no law he's broke. They don't care. I see articles all the time where the neighbor told his neighbors that the economy was going to collapse, that they should buy storable foods and firearms. SWAT teams hit him 2 days later. He's still in custody for resisting arrest. So see, they go there with no law broken, and then they SWAT team you. And now they're SWAT teaming people selling eggs off their farms, organic. And they're SWAT teaming organic milk producers. And it's happening. This is classical tyranny. And it's just these little do-gooders. Hey, the sitcom said homeschooling's illegal. It's illegal. Now, if you've ever had your child in government, and there's always a kernel of truth to this. If you've had your child in a government training camp, you then have to withdraw them out of the school. State truancy laws kick in if you just pull them out. And then I was talking to one of my neighbors. Their 6-year-old had the flu. He missed 2 days of school. They got a letter saying, you have to come to this court date. Your child's truant. We're going to charge him. Well, that's Judge Gene Muir here in Austin. They have it all over the country. They have portable buildings with judges in them. It's not even real court cases. They call the child in and they say, I'm putting you on probation. They tell the parents, sign this form. It's not a real court. You're waiving your rights, putting your child into probation for having the flu. Whereas before, you just wrote a letter in. So my point is, this stuff is everywhere. It is all around us. They are harassing everyone. They are teaching the public guns are illegal when they're not. They're creating the perception that then becomes reality. They're saying you've got to have the animal ID, premises ID. They're saying homeschooling is illegal. When all you have to do in all 50 states, if your child was in a government training camp, you just, and of course they won't ever tell you about these forms, but it's not a law, so why do you have to fill out forms? Something that isn't even a law. You simply file the forms that state that you are homeschooling. Or if you don't want to mess with them, you take your child out and, you say you're filing it with a local private school, and then you decide a week later not to put them in the private school. But why should we have to do that anyways when there's no law? And then the schools, the public school system admit that they're predatory and that they openly say they own your children in court cases. I've read these on air. That they own your children. I mean, this is just off the charts asinine. All right, I'm on the air here in about 20 minutes. I've got to get into the office. All right, this is my third audio blog. God bless you all.
This is the shipping version of the Liberty unit. It's the basic unit that we work with. It consists of 14 cases and a pail of sprouting seeds and a sprouter. Extremely well balanced, and this is the one that we adjust for special dietary needs, like diabetics and people with gluten intolerances. Also, those who are concerned about not having any soy products or textured vegetable protein, this is the unit that we adjust for special needs. All of these one-year supplies are extremely well balanced. They have all the fruits and vegetables and dairy products, everything that you need for a normal diet, and it fits most people. But if you have special needs, if you're a vegan, or if you're a diabetic, or have gluten intolerances, please call us directly and we'll be able to adjust your unit to fit what you need. The 800 number is 800-810-4441. And that will get our administrative office, and we'll help you as best we can.